All righty, we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another installment of Saturday Night Live. This has been something I've been wanting to do weekly, and it is something I'm going to want to do weekly and continue to do weekly. This is going to be content that's going to turn into um, it's going to turn into what our Patreon is going to be. So if you want to get your questions in and have your questions answered on our weekly installment of whatever we want to call the Saturday Night Muscle or Saturday Night, I would say live, but there's probably some legal questions that could come up if that's the name that we end up going with. But definitely get your questions in the comment sections below. We will field them as they come in, as this is a free service currently. So if you do have questions, as people start to trickle in here, if you do have questions, definitely let us know what your thoughts are on what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Uh, for me, I just finished recording another episode for the Women's Physique Report, hosted by Danielle Willis. We just finished recording that one with another guest today. So that show is slowly evolving into something I think is going to be very exciting. So, especially if you are muscle women fans, I think you ladies and gentlemen, will enjoy that content as it slowly evolves. Something I'm very excited for. Um, no questions yet, but we are a few weeks post the Arnold Classic. So there's a little bit of news going on. There's some conversations of, should Big Ramy retire? I've made a video on this before. I don't specifically or particularly think that he should retire. I think he has a lot of opportunity to um, make improvements. I don't think he's done. I don't think he's cooked. Of course, let me know in the feed if that's something you guys think is a reality. I don't think that's a reality for him. I like his physique for the most part. Obviously there's the left. What is it, guys? The left or the right arm? The tricep is all janky and it's like missing a couple inches. I know one of the arms is uneven, and that does pull away from the overall physique. In my opinion, the quads are suspect to some sort of site enhancement jelly or oil or treatment or sauce. I don't know. Maybe he is pinning there with his performance enhancing supplements. That's definitely a possibility. Could there have been some sort of abscess or infection that caused the quads to look so big, but yet so undefined and undetailed? I don't know. You look at the lower back, there's also some questions about that. I will say in the back lat spread, it doesn't look bad. I don't see any issues with the back lat spread. If you, ladies and gentlemen, noticed something wrong in that lat spread shot, let me know. But the big critique for his back is the back double. That's where it starts to look atrophied, or I've made probably a couple of videos at this point talking about the possible nerve damage in his lower back. Also, you have people like Ian Valier, who you have that conversation of maybe there's lower back damage, nerve damage in that area. I don't know. Of course, let me know in the comment sections below. We have a couple lurkers in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you want me to talk about tonight. I am all yours for the next 20 so minutes, and then I'm going to go out with some friends for St. Patrick's Day. But I did want to get on here and do the Saturday Night Live for you. Fantastic people, some of the best fans in the world. In my opinion, the best fans in the world, because you support me and you help BNN become what it's going to be and what it is currently becoming. And that is a landing pad, a literal network for bodybuilding news and bodybuilding shows. So also, if you have wow, there's like one cute little cloud in the sky. Anyways, side tangent. If you have athletes, or if you know of athletes, or you have a favorite athlete and you'd really, really like them to come on the show and talk about an upcoming show they're doing, or how their off-season prep is, or anything, what their favorite color is, what their favorite topping on their waffles is, anything like that, let me know. The best way to do it, of course, would be the comment below, or do the live chat right now so I can see that. But also just message me on Instagram at my personal at Josh_Sanch, or you can message me on Instagram at bodybuilding.news.network is always a great way to get a hold of me. Oh man, I gotta let that grow in a little bit. I'm trimming it too close. Nah, it doesn't even matter. I got to shave all this off in like a month. I got to get back in uniform one more day for my last day in the Army. For now, I'll probably join back up. It's the military, specifically the Army, is like a very toxic ex-girlfriend. You despise her and you can't stand her, but if she says like, "Hey, what are you doing Friday night?" and you're probably going to go hang out. So that's kind of my uh, that's kind of my relationship with the Army. 12 years in August, and I'll probably go right back. Not full time. I'm not going to go back active, but I definitely will. Uh, probably go back in the reserve side. Looks like both triceps. Okay, yeah. I don't know. Crohn's lifter, Crohn's, like Crohn's disease. Not to make fun of probably your last name. Yeah, it could be. It could be both. Let me look it up. I know. I don't think I have the live stream set up to where I can share my screen. That's something I'll work on this coming week and coming into next week is figuring out how to be able to share the screens. But yeah, definitely would be interesting to see. Oh, here, let me move the screen over here so I can actually look at you guys straight on. Let's see more comments from Crohn's Lifter. Were people mentioning he's done more so because politics, not physique. He looks great. He did look great at the Olympia or at the Arnold. That my question to you: what do you think? Was he overlooked? Was he robbed? Uh, who who did he beat? He looked great. I don't think anyone's taken that away from him. But you have to think like, who would he have beaten out? Did he beat out the improvements that Andrew Jack brought? Because you also have to think the judges are looking at what people have brought in the past and what they're bringing to the stage now. And then they compare the physique. Or maybe it's backwards. I don't know. I'm not a judge, I'm a commentator. Um, Big Ramy looked great. He brought, I think, improvements. He might not have been more conditioned, but he did look, or no, other way around. He did look more conditioned. I don't know if he looked bigger, but usually, and I don't know, Crohn's, if you've competed before, but when you compete yourself, when you're in your off season, you look big, and you'd be surprised when you lose all that weight and you get on stage. I mean, even if for us naturals, like even when you get on stage as a natural, you look so much bigger when you're lean and conditioned. It's really surprising because you'd think you're going to lose all that weight, you're going to look smaller. But actually, even with the pros, you look at Big Ramy, he's huge in the off season. But when they get really conditioned, you can see the lines and the separation, the structure and the flow. You get to see all those things live on stage when they're like 40, 50 pounds lighter, and somehow they look bigger than they did in the off season. So it's kind of a weird what is it? Maybe like an illusion type thing is probably what I would think about that. Three people in the chat. We got Crohn's dropping some questions here about Big Ramy. Possibly are his triceps looking suspicious on both sides? I thought it was just one arm, but maybe it is both. I cannot share my screen, but I will look it up for you and give it a look. See, give it a gander, as some people would say. 4.8 million followers on Instagram. That is wild, Big Ramy. Let's see. Well, of course, he's not going to post anything that actually shows the arms. Honestly, the tricep, when you look at like the most muscular, his most recent post 3 days ago, it's got 120,000 comments on Instagram. If you're looking at his Instagram with me, I'll give you guys a couple seconds to get over there. The triceps, they literally look like they just drop off. There's no thickness or fullness to the tricep on this most muscular shot, which is very surprising. Typically, when you're doing a most muscular, the triceps do pop out quite a bit. I mean, even for a small guy like myself, you can still see the triceps. They look full. They pop out from the arm. Big Rami's, it literally looks like it's just like flat. It just drops down. So I don't know what's causing that. Also, I will say that this photo is taken from technically his left or stage right. If you're being if you're thinking about the different perspectives, uh, the left arm looks considerably smaller because of the camera angle, but also it could just because in general the arm is smaller. It is damaged. And even with the stem cells that he was using to try to make those quick corrections, I don't think it did too much. Let's see. Oh man, you're killing me with these names. uh, Guarito, Guarito Nutricon is Nutri. Okay, Guarito. Apologies. Rami always been torso dominant. Anyways, what? No, no way. He is not torso. Big Rami is known for the legs. He has the biggest legs in the pro league. He's got like the biggest legs in the world. FFS, just say Guarito. Okay, my bad, bro. My bad. I'll write you down on my notepad. I'll remember you next time. Oh, torso compared to arms. Yeah, I mean he's a thicker guy. Um, he's pretty wide when you look at like the clavicle width. He's not like Phil Heath where it's like a little bit crunched up. He's got a good wide shield, if you will, when you look at some of his shots. I don't think he's known for the arms. You look at someone like I don't know who your favorite is for like someone who has like crazy arms, but you look at someone like Nick Walker has phenomenal arms. Uh, who else? Gunter Schlierkamp back in the day, he had phenomenal arms. Phil Heath, great arms. Dennis James has great arms. Um, who's your favorite arms? Clavicle width and arm insertions never been good enough. Oh yeah, for Big Ramy, yeah, I think he was able to. I mean, he's a freak. That's why they call him Big Ramy. He was able to, in his credit, I always want to be an advocate and be a fan of the athletes. To his credit, he's done a great job of piecing together a lot of parts, a lot of different body parts and muscle insertions to, win him 2 Mr. Olympia titles. So it's hard to not give him that tip of the fedora if you're some of those fedora people. But also, now that we're talking about like gluing together body parts, when you look at Michael Krizo, he's also one of those guys that really he's got like a weird combination of body parts. I think he has good legs, great chest, probably one of the best like pectoral shelves, and then also a tiny midsection to go with it. Massive arms. Again, one of those guys that has crazy good arms. But he did not do so well at the Olympia. Let's follow me on Instagram, everyone. Let's head over to Michael Krizo, Krizo. Let's take a look at his Olympia pictures. I mean, he was pretty nutty. I love how he looked at the Olympia. I know we're kind of switching from the Arnold to the Olympia, but I thought for him coming into his first pro year as an IFBB pro, I thought he looked phenomenal. Oh, Ian Crohn's. Let's see here. Guardo. Great limbs, arms, delts, leg. Yeah. Great. Some people were saying he had questionable delts. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on his delts, but I thought he looked good. I thought Big Ramy looked phenomenal at the Arnold. I didn't have, and I was in the seventh row. I think I was super close to the stage. When I saw him, I was just blown away. He looked so good. So hard to say. I know like the fork or the 8K footage from the center is a little different from like where I saw it, but I thought he looked great. Let's see, Crohn's. I'd argue Ian has that kind of look too, or as well. Uh, in relation to like just like a combination of like random body parts. Oh, we aren't talking about Rami. Meh. Yeah. I don't know. I like Ian. Ian is I think Ian's big I don't know how to say it. His big downfall is that front double. The front double just okay, let's skip off of Michael. Let's go to Ian's page on Instagram real quick. Um Ian's shot, even though he's never going to put a front double on his front page, is just the it doesn't flow very well. He doesn't have the best chest. That's probably gonna take me a second to actually find photos of of him doing a front double. He's there's no way he's posting it. Let's see here. Well, anyhow, I don't want to bore you guys with dead air, but I like Ian's physique. I think he's gonna do pretty well at this Toronto Pro coming up. Let's see here. Let's check out the scorecard real quick. Men's bodybuilding. When's the Toronto Pro? Anybody know? Let's see, the Ireland, Pittsburgh, New York. Toronto Pro is January, March, April, May, June 4th. Toronto Pro. So he's like 10 weeks out, right? 10 weeks out from the Toronto Pro. Slightly delayed here. Oh, my bad, guys. Let's see. Crohn's, Creezone Ian give me mashup body part vibes, like you described. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting conglomerate of different musculature and inserts and things of that nature. But I don't think I haven't heard of anyone that's doing the was the Toronto. I haven't heard of anyone doing the Toronto. I think that's going to be competitive against Ian. I think Antoine Valiant, he did a good job last year of pushing him. Surprisingly, I didn't know that they were kind of in the same caliber. But then he came, Antoine. He went into the Chicago and won that show. So that guy was really surprising. You think of some of the people that have won the Chicago Pro previously. Hunter Labrada, he won it what in 2020, something like that. And then Akeem, I think, won it 2 years ago, and then Akeem won the Puerto Rico Pro this year. So, or no, Tampa, right? He won Tampa. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to think about all the different shows people have won, but it is fun to remember a few of them from time to time. What else? What else is going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness? What's exciting to you? Do we have any classic physique fans? You just want to talk about classic physique? Ooh, 212. Got any 212 fans? Tonio. Oh, I love Tonio. I was really surprised he plays so badly. Him being, I covered his pro debut when he did the Indy in the 212. He won that show and then came into the Olympia. I thought he placed top 10, right, in the 212. And then he immediately hopped into the Toronto Pro or to the Legion Sport. And that's the one that Sean Clarita competed in and won. Tonio placed like fourth, I think, and that was his first open show. So he really came out of the woodworks, and I thought he did phenomenal. My question is, he's going to do the Legion Sport again this year. I'm wondering, how well he's going to do there because just looking at his Olympia finish, I didn't think it was that great. But I didn't really dig into his physique too much, kind of like a breakdown of like what happened. So let's go ahead and follow me on Instagram over to Tonio Burton's Instagram page. Let's take a look at his tagged photos and see if we have any Olympia pictures. We got a post on January 17th from Buys and Tries talking about Tonio Burton's 2023 season. Tonio saying, I'm 31 years young. I didn't start bodybuilding early, and I didn't even know what it was until 2018. 2023 has been a better year. I won't place top 5 in or no, I won't place top 5 in 3 shows. I'll win 3 shows and go back to the 2023 Olympia, right. So I think Tonio, I thought he won a pro show. Didn't he win the Cali this year? I thought he won a show. I don't think he qualified off points. But yeah, I mean, he's a young guy. He's been doing great things. Um, I expect him to come in. Or no, he's not doing. He's doing the California. So the two people confirmed for that one is Patrick Moore and Antonio Burton. So that'll be a fun comparison to see is those two guys. Um, Both of them have won the Cali Pro before. I will be at that show. I won't be commentating, but I'll be reporting on it live with interviews, show analysis, things of that nature. So if you guys are going to be at that California State Championship Pro show or the amateur show, definitely let me know. Message me, line up a good time. We can get interview in here, or at least a little photo op, get some pictures of you guys with me at these shows, as that is probably my favorite part of going to these shows is actually meeting you guys. Yes, Crohn's. So we're heading to the Classic Physique Pro show. It's called the Fit World. It's in LA. It's going to be April 1st through the 3rd. Myself and IFBB Pro Olympian Danielle Willis will be reporting there live on that show. It's a pro classic physique and amateur, everything else. I think it's a regional qualifying show. We'll be at that one. And then we're also looking at it's called the Emerald Cup. It's a NPC and pro show in Utah, I think. We're looking at doing that one as well, flying out, covering that show in person. And then the California State Pro will be at that show as well, covering that one live in person. And then we'll be at the Legion Sport Festival. We'll be there as well this year. And then that'll probably wind up all the pro shows besides the Olympia. Obviously, I'll be at the Olympia. There's a bunch of NPC shows in California, especially anything in the Bay Area, San Francisco, San Jose, Oakland, Pleasanton. Any show, any NPC show in the Bay Area, I'll be going to if I can help it. That's just it's less than an hour drive for me, as that's where I'm locally. That's where I'm currently stationed. Just getting out of the army in like under a month. I'll be dunsies. So yes, Crohn's. We will be at a lot of shows this year. Very excited to see this channel kind of evolve into, from we have the Bodybuilding Daily Show where I try to at least every day hop on here and talk about hot topics trending in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. But my real passion, my real love is actually meeting the athletes, doing the interviews in person or online. Online is fine too, but really getting in person and talking to the people, I think, is a lot of fun for me. I get a lot of reward from that, personal reward of making those connections, making those relationships. So yes, great question. We'll definitely be at the Olympia, but there's a lot of other shows we'll be at as well. What else? Tonio, right? I think Tonio's going to do well this year. I'm interested to see how well he does, though, and also kind of the lineup. We're around we're like 5 weeks out for the Vancouver Island Showdown, which is all women's pro show, an amateur show, and then we have the New York Pro, which is just around the corner in March, April, May 20th. So we're around 30 days out from that one. That's New York Pro is going to be a big one. And then before that, we do have the Pittsburgh Pro and the Ireland Pro. We have the Korea Pro on May 6th. And then we have the Charlotte Pro, which is a classic physique show. That's going to be April 22nd through 23rd in Charlotte, North Carolina. I do not know specifically who's going to be on those shows, but it will be interesting to see who does those shows. Sounds busy. I'm jealous. I hope you guys. Yeah, it's brother. It's a busy. It's it's going to be a busy year because I'm just getting out of the army, and now I have this full-time job where like 60% of it's remote, so I get to work from from my studio right here in the living room. So that kind of opens up a lot of free time where I'm not having to travel back and forth. I've got a lot of paid time off with this new job, so I'm able to travel. I was lucky enough and blessed enough to get a very large raise from the military coming into this job. So financially, I'm able to support myself traveling to these shows almost once a month is kind of the way it's looking at right now. Have fun tonight. Be safe out there. All right. Crohn's, appreciate you, man. You were commenting a lot. Uh, yeah, follow me on Instagram. Message me if you have any stories you want me to cover. Tag me. I'll screenshot it. Make sure I put it on an upcoming episode. But this will do it. That's about 30 minutes, 26 minutes. I'll stay on here for a couple minutes more. If you ladies and gentlemen have any other questions, but for those of you who did comment, thank you so much for contributing to this live stream. It's been a while since we had one, so I do enjoy having these conversations with you fine people. I will probably try to re-upload this with an overlay and have the photos over here of kind of like what I was talking about, maybe some posing videos to make it a little bit more entertaining. But that will probably do it, ladies and gentlemen, for another installment here on the Bodybuilding News Network, a special Saturday Night Live. We will be moving this over to Patreon eventually once we get a little bit more of a consistent following base. It's only going to be $1 a month, so if you can afford $1 a month, definitely subscribe to the Patreon. I'll throw it into the comment sections below, and we'll start to build up a fan base there. Once we get to like 10 people, I'll probably migrate the show over there, as I don't want to have 10 people paying for something that's not there yet. So that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, check out the merch in the comment sections below. But as always, I'm your host, Josh Sanch, here on the Bodybuilding News Network. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you fine people in another one.